Nightly greetings, one and all. William Theo here, homegrown and happy to bring you PTV News Now. And for tonight, we kick off with a House Solon pushing for a greater outlay for agriculture next year after the figures in the National Expenditure Program showing a cutback instead of a much-needed prop-up on an allocation of nearly 5% from this year's budget. House Representative Wilbert Lee, after seeing a dismal appropriations for agriculture next year, vowed to push for more as deliberations for the 2025 General Appropriations Act kicked off last week. Sits of famers on the field. Next year allocation for the DA and its attached offices or agencies sums up to a rather dismal 211 billion pesos and change, which is 4.7 off this year's allocation, much to the dismay of Congressman Lee. The amount is way off Lee had proposed in April of over $500 billion or 511 billion. Thus, he vows to seek for an amendment and a substantial hike in the allocation for the DA, insisting agriculture should be given a higher priority and receive additional support and not a cutback. It is clear Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has no desire to end the war, seek a truce or agreement on a deal to set Israeli hostages held by Hamas for the last 300 days free. He wants the war to drag on indefinitely so he cannot be ousted from power and be held into account for his failure to provide tight security all over Israel prior to the October 7 last year and for his war crimes against tens of thousands of innocent civilian Palestinians he has slaughtered over the last 10 months. VOA's Linda Gradstein reports from Jerusalem.
Thousands of people marched through the streets of Jerusalem wearing labels with the number 300 on them. The march was organized by Rachel and John Goldberg Poland, whose 23-year-old son Hirsch was among those kidnapped from the Nova Music Festival October 7th. They have worked tirelessly for his release.
Today is day 27. Hirsch is still not home. Today is day 30. Today is day 58. Day 300.
Racheli Frankel, whose 16-year-old son Naftali was kidnapped and killed by Hamas, explains why she and others are marching.
To be together, to express the fact that we're never forgetting. We go to sleep with this at night, we wake up with this in the morning.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he is working to bring the hostages home. But hostage families, and more recently some in his military establishment, have accused him of acting slowly and adding new conditions for a deal with Hamas on a gradual ceasefire that would free the hostages.
Our long hand strikes in the Gaza Strip, in Yemen, in Beirut, and wherever necessary. This hand of ours reaches out when the time comes for peace to those who want to establish peace with us.
In Gaza, the death toll is rising, with the Hamas-run health ministry saying nearly 40,000 Palestinians have been killed in close to 10 months of fighting. Palestinian officials warn of a growing health crisis and are calling on the world to intervene.
This catastrophe is the result of the spread of urgent diseases, of infectious diseases, whether through water or breathing. There are more than 100,000 cases of hepatitis, noting that in the year preceding the aggression, there were only 85 cases across the Gaza Strip.
Palestinian officials say hospitals have stopped functioning and are in urgent need of equipment.
We need large quantities of beds, medicines and medical supplies, as what has been sent is not enough to meet the hospital's needs.
More than 90% of Gaza's 2 million people have been displaced at least once and are spending the sweltering heat of the summer in tents with no air conditioning and few sanitation facilities. The fighting is showing no signs of letting up, and people on both sides see no hope for an end anytime soon. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, Jerusalem.
At this time, let's turn to my colleague in PTV's Baguio City Station for the latest developments brewing over there. Audrey?
Naimbag Arabi, Pilipinas. Ad-adangin matutikaso ti dengue ti Baguio City. Iti datos ti City Health Services Office nakailisada iti nasurok 3,000 a kaso as of August 1, 2024. 462% tingin matuan ti kaso no ididlig idinapanatawen. Manipod mo't Pebrero aging gana Hulyo itatawen, 7 iti pumusay gapu iti dengue. Kang runana na apektaran na barangay ti Barangay Irisan, Bakakang Central, Asin Road, Santo Tomas Proper, Camp 7, Gibraltar, Pingat, Luacan Proper, Pakdal, Middle Quirino Hill ken Bakakang Norte. Isu ati CHSO ken ti LGU, mangipatpat tungpal iti vector surveillance sapno maamuan dagiti kang runa na panagtataudan dagiti lamok. Imunamutan nga imbili ti Mayor tinaingat nga implementasyon ti Anti-Dengue Ordinance. Agtultuloy matipan na kaiwaras ti larvicide iti nagduduma a barangay.
Doon pa rin siya, mataas pa rin siya. Nandun pa rin tayo sa level ng mga 300, 289 cases every week. Pero in terms of 2-week growth, medyo bumaba na yung sa atin, 2-week growth natin.
Pimusay ti duwa nga ubing nga agtawon ti iti lima, kalpasan na nalmas iti Chico River iti barangay Bontoc, Ili, Bontoc, Mountain Province. Sigun iti Bontoc Fire Station, dagos da nga ng isayangkat iti search and rescue operation kalpasan ang nakaawad iti awag agarup alas 3:20 iti malem. Imuna na sarakan ti maysa nga ubing ken naitaray iti Bontoc General Hospital ngem pimusay bayat ti kaaddana iti pagagasan. May kadua na sarakan dagiti responder ti awanan biag nga ubing. Adan kadagiti pagtanganda dagiti pimusay nga ubing. Gapo iti insidente nagpalagip ti BFP Bontoc kadagiti naganak asalwadan daan na sayaat dagiti anak datak no saanen ang maulit ti insidente. Nangisayang katdamot lang iti cleansing ritual kalpasan ti insidente.
Alam po natin yung sakit ng mawalan ng isang anak or kahit man lang membro ng ating pamilya. So bilang isang magulang, palagi po nating bantayan yung ating mga anak. So I'm not saying na may lapses yung mga magulang ng dalawang bata, but yun na nga, bilang isang magulang, bantayan natin yung ating mga anak para maiwasan po natin yung mga pangyayari.
Dagiti damdamag manipod dito PTV Cordillera, shock ni Audrey Villena na Imbag Arabi.
Thank you, Audrey, and that is a wrap for tonight's program. Join us anew for our next offering of news breaks, and keep in mind to stay connected by catching the news right here. This is William Theo, and thank you for watching PTV News Now.